Whiskey and Nerds podcast.
Before we turn all the attention on to Will. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's fucking coming down, motherfucker.
I mean, you know, I'm almost done with this. I'm gonna pour more in mine.
Oh no, you finished that. I'm about to pour you. I'm about to pull down the chapter 4.
Yeah,
it's good. It's real good. I want your opinion on it, but you're a chef.
Something like that.
Something like that, kind of. You're a chef that works in an office. The lazy chef.
I'm a lazy chef. Hey.
When did you start? You told me you started at, was it Collin County?
Mm-hmm.
Because they mapped their curriculum off of a much larger school, so you just followed that group. Did you start at the bottom, line cook bullshit, sous chef, doing all that? Did you have a good in on something else? What?
So let's take it even further back, right? All right, let's go all the way down to high school.
Yeah.
When we all knew each other.
Yeah.
So just to bring it back, so Blake and Gabe and I, we actually know each other from high school, and we just recently reconnected through Instagram.
Good old social media. And posting bourbon pictures.
That
was like, wait,
he did bourbon too.
I haven't seen Will in forever. Wait, he has a store pic of what?
The last time I saw Gabe, his hair was so long it covered his eyes.
It covered my whole face. It was down to my chest at that time. I had a guitar in hand. I was doing all the heavy metal.
Gabe was the guy who would sleep through class and then get an A on his fucking final exam, and I hated his absolute shit.
Yeah, I did.
But
not any more than the teacher did.
all of them.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's go all the way back to high school.
Good times.
I had a taste of what it was like to be in the hospitality industry. So food, beverage, hotels, just any sort of service, right? Hospitality kind of encompasses that. I was in the hospitality program when we were in high school, and I worked at a Marriott here in DFW, and I worked in the kitchen. It was an internship type deal through the school, and I worked there like 4 or 5 days a week for a couple hours a day.
How the fuck did I not know this existed until
I know it was
today?
I don't know.
In high school, we thought we were tough chicks. We're taking cooking classes.
Dude, I went to Dale Jackson. Like half my day was just bullshit. Like,
I mean, so was ours, but we were at
they
school.
actually have like culinary classes at Dale Jackson now.
Oh, do they now?
It's not,
they've definitely stepped it up.
It's not Dale Jackson.
It's something else.
It's Career Center East. My brother is actually the auto tech teacher out there now. But we got to tour the facility, and they upped their game. They have an entirely full scale culinary kitchen,
great.
a media where you can learn how to literally like shoot the fucking news. A huge auto tech.
Damn.
So, but all that to say, fuck these spoiled kids.
Right? We didn't have that.
Had they had that kind of culinary option back then, I would have been all over
Oh,
it.
hell yeah.
I would have been all over the hospitality program if I knew it was a fucking thing until I was 31.
Well, the only reason why I went into the hospitality program was because my then girlfriend, now wife, was in it, and I wanted a blow-off class.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just join that class.
I'm going to follow her around.
Yeah, I'll just follow her around. Like, whatever. And then I joined it, then I started working in the kitchen, and I found out that, like, hey, this isn't really a job. It's, like, fun.
Yeah.
So I got into cooking, and then in high school, I got a job at a local golf club, and I started cooking the line. Just working the line. I was still in high school. I was working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fun. Like, it's exciting. It's whatever. And then so I went to college, and I got a degree in culinary arts from Collin County. And then they paired up with a program at Texas Women's for a culinary science degree. And basically, they took food science, and they meshed it with these idiots who went to culinary school. They dumbed it down so that we could understand how to create product so that we could commercialize it into the masses. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of that, I got a job in the corporate world of culinary.
Yeah.
And I started working as a corporate chef, research chef for better terms, and I helped develop like seasoning blends, sauces, drink mixes, ice cream mixes, like the froyo blends and stuff, like all this stuff for the corporate side. So, the way I looked at it was, instead of serving 200 or 300 people a night, I had an effect on thousands of restaurants that were around the country, if not the globe, and what their food tasted like.
So literally, like you said, around the world, people are tasting something
That I helped
you
develop.
created, yeah.
I created, I developed. I mean, like, think about any large chain restaurant that you drive past on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been involved with development of products that they serve today in the past.
Very cool.
And so through that process, like today, I work for a produce company. It's a completely change of mindset and what I do, but the creative standpoint is still there. Mm-hmm. So what I do is we're the largest field tomato grower, and we're a huge overall produce and fruit supplier to the nation. We have multiple offices across the U.S. as well as Canada and Mexico. We have farms all across, up and down the East Coast and West Coast. We have farms and greenhouses in Mexico and Canada, and we help produce and grow and supply 365, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Our trucks are running. We have a logistics company that runs our own trucks, as well as we pair with our customers, and then we have our own farming, growing, everything in between, and then we partner with local farmers in certain regions where we don't grow, but maybe we would come to you and say, well, you grow bell peppers.
Yeah.
We don't grow bell peppers. We will buy all of your bell peppers that you can possibly produce.
Source it straight
And then we will sell it. You don't worry about selling it. We will buy them all.
Yeah.
We worry about the selling. And so we do that with a bunch of other produce that we don't currently, we don't grow. And so what I do is I work with our customers and I help them develop menu ideas, concepts to incorporate more fresh produce or meat alternatives, right? Because that's huge right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is like the meat alternative and the healthy,
Hippies.
the health, right? The fucking health hippies, whatever. I don't care. They're making us more money. So
I love the hippies. They're my favorite people. Stop eating meat. I'm getting a paycheck.
but to make center of the plate items to focus on more than just the meat, the protein, the steak, the chicken, the fish, the seafood, whatever it is, and to make it more common for customers to put, that cauliflower steak or that butternut squash steak or whatever, or to include that into their menu, right? I mean, so we're working to include like green beans and tomatoes and bell peppers and any fresh produce. And if we don't grow it or we don't supply, we will supply it to you. We will find somebody that we can partner with to supply to our customers. But to help supply the world and our nation and our country with fresh produce is kind of our thing. And so my job is to pair up with our customers and their corporate chefs or their development people. Because not everybody has a chef. Some people are just like food scientists. Mm-hmm. Some people, they don't have anything. They're a small enough organization where, they're just like, hey, we need new menu ideas. And so I help, no extra cost other than, the fact of we hope ethically you buy from us if we help you develop a product that you like.
It's a service.
Right, it's a service.
You're providing a service with your product.
I help partner with them to help, to develop items that they can put on their menu to make them more sales, and at the end of the day, they will buy from us, which makes us more sales.
Yeah.
So it justifies the produce industry. And right now, I mean, through this past year, COVID and just all the stuff, it's not a lack of supply. It's the challenge of logistics and distribution. Mm-hmm. And so something that like my company has done is because we're very vertically integrated from the farm level all the way through distribution, we're able to still distribute our product.
Which is, as someone who deals in distribution in different product lines, it's extremely challenging right now. So if you have a good in on taking care of it, you're ahead of the game.
Right. And I mean, gas prices are up, labor's up, everything is up right now. And so for us to be able, as you
I kick shit.
the table, and it only affected my microphone.
It's okay. It translates really well with the,
with the everything falling apart. I'm trying to break his shit.
But it's been our most technically savvy episode.
But we're gonna leave this all in blank. But
Yep. Figure it out, buddy.
but for us, like we just want to make sure we provide the best product and the most consistent product, and we want to help the country continue to be fed.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So that's my job, is how do I on a national scale, and then we're looking to expand globally beyond just our nation, our North America.
Yeah.
How do we do that, and how do we help the world continue to be fed?
Yeah.
So my job is not only for me to connect with our customers from the corporate end and to build those relationships and to build those menu items, but I'm also trying to build this culinary program and this mindset at our company. I'm their first corporate chef. I'm their first person that thinks this way, and so it's been really exciting.
So you've been able to do culinary arts, and if I remember correctly, it's roughly a 2-year schooling.
Yeah, so I went through 2 years of culinary arts, 2 years to get my culinary science degree, and then shoot myself in the foot. I don't know why I decided to do it, but I did another 1.5 2 years of management so that I could understand how to interact basically remotely, globally, with people from far places, which actually has been very hands-on this past 1.5 years.
So you said you did line cooks a couple different times. Have you ever jumped into the experience of running a regular kitchen, being sous chef, head chef, doing
I've had
level capacity?
Yeah, I've had experiences where I've been able to take over for the executive chef and whatnot. I've never worked the title of sous chef or executive chef. There's a fine line there that I run of being considered and called a chef. Okay, I don't want to say that I'm a chef. You put me on the line to run a kitchen in DFW here, and I will probably crash and burn. I promise you.
It's very different things.
I will do everything in my power to try my hardest. I swear.
Yeah.
But I went from working the line and understanding how a kitchen runs, and to taking over for the executive chef in certain instances, to jumping to the corporate world. And they're two very different worlds.
Yeah.
I give so much credit and all the kudos that anybody could ever give to the chefs that are executive chefs that run kitchens every day.
It's a different world again.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
it's a different lifestyle.
We're in corporate America on
Yeah.
what we do. I mean, I'm running a $30 million distribution plant that does fiberglass insulation and other random bullshit that nobody has right now. And you're dealing in the dental field.
Largest dental company in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is, while you can make parallels, people that are actually, for lack of a better term, frontline in the kitchen every single night, they're working when you're off.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
They're every holiday that you want to go eat somewhere, someone's there.
They're there. Yeah.
Every weekend, every night, till 2:00 in the morning.
And I work those hours. I mean, I work the line, 16, 18-hour days, and I went into with the mindset of I'm going to work 100-hour weeks until I can work my way up to executive chef. And my dream was to, own my own restaurant one day.
Yeah.
And then I found this crazy avenue that I never knew existed of the corporate culinary world, and I took a huge pay cut. I took the risk of opportunity of owning my own restaurant, and I went that route.
Yeah.
Because I wanted weekends off, nights off, paid holidays. I wanted to be able to travel the world, and I've been able to do all those things, have all those things, and I'm extremely fortunate. Because from the corporate standpoint, like you said, on Mother's Day, I remember working the omelet station from fucking 4 a.m, be getting there prepping, doing everything, till working 4, 5, 6 p.m. Through cleanup and dishwashing, and everybody else is coming through the line and just telling you what they want in their omelet or on their carving station, or bringing out food that
as
they
you sit there
replenish.
with your one tiny pan.
Yeah. Well, like it's like 6 pans. I gotta remember, and then the person fucking walks off, and you gotta remember who that person was. So when they come back, so when they come back, you're like, "This is your omelet, ma'am." You know, it's like you should have fucking stood here. It takes 90 seconds to make an omelet, but I get to be on the other side of that now because I'm in the corporate world. It's a whole nother experience, and going through culinary school, I could never imagine myself being in this situation. I'm extremely blessed. I'm extremely fortunate that I ended up here.
So for me, again, I told you earlier, I have wanted to be a chef since I was fucking like 4 years old. I almost did it straight out of high school. I mean, you talked about it 100 times. And then I got this job with this company that I went from working at a mall for like minimum wage to a job that paid me twice as much, like $12 an hour. And I just never left the place. So now it is flat out make a career and life-altering choice, a massive pay cut to start over an entirely new career. So for an idiot like myself...
What advice do you have?
Yeah. What do you think? Because one of the reasons because I've always wanted to do it, and it's always in the back of my head of, yeah, you're sitting behind this desk, you're looking at this computer, but you're not doing anything that you get any fulfillment out of. Like everything you just said, it's not owning your own restaurant, but you can tell you get a whole bunch of fulfillment out of driving down, 35 right here and knowing that all these restaurants you pass, you have some kind of hand in something they serve.
There's a sense of satisfaction and appreciation for what you do to that's beyond you, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
it's bigger than you just sitting and you sending an email.
So I mean, okay. Well, at the end of the day, you have to do what you love.
Yeah.
Everybody says that, but at the end of the day, like you really do. Like if you fucking hate it, like how long are you gonna keep doing it?
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, time's short.
You're right.
Life's short. Time's limited. You gotta do something.
Right, but I'm not here to tell you to quit your job. Like, don't whoa.
Well, first
just
thing
start tomorrow.
Just quit.
Because Martha's gonna come out here and strangle me. but
Quit your job and enroll in school and rack up a bunch of debt.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go get $40,000 in debt and then go work a $12, $15 an hour job.
Yeah, go work at Dairy Queen.
So I mean,
no disrespect to Dairy Queen workers. I appreciate your dip
I
codes.
love blizzards.
I think enough people don't. They don't appreciate the work that people do. I think we are fucking entitled in this country.
Oh God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are like, oh my God, I can't get a job. I'm like, no, there's fucking jobs out there. You just choose not to take jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bitch, if I get fired tomorrow,
I'm going to McDonald's.
I'm going to be working at Taco Bell
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Yeah.
No qualms.
Free tacos. Let's go.
I'm
Food
gonna,
for the family.
I'm going to be dumping water into that pre-processed meat, mixing
yeah.
it up, and throwing it in that.
You know
gordita.
what? You're gonna bring in some money home. Like you do what you gotta do. But I think people are just so entitled they don't appreciate those things. But at the end of the day, like you have to do what you love, and if you feel that what you're doing is making a difference, and people appreciate you and what you're doing, then I think there's justification to keep doing it. But so if let's say you just not that you do, but let's say somebody out there absolutely hated what they did.
Yeah.
If you're out there, you're at the pooper scooper job and you didn't want it, and you're shoveling dog shit out of people's yards all day and you hate it, okay, and you want to go get a culinary degree because you think working in the kitchen is cool, it's fun.
I love Top Chef.
Yeah, Top Chef is badass, and those guys are awesome. Like, you have to think way beyond that. It's not. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not fucking easy.
Yeah.
So many people, when I went through culinary school, they think that working in a kitchen is fun and easy.
Glamorous.
It can be fun.
Yeah. It can be fun, but by
And
all real accounts,
it's never easy.
It's one of the hardest and high-stress environments
Yeah. And
you can be in.
And I mean, what did you just say? You said fun
Glamorous.
Glamorous.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's another thing is, in the last 10, 15 years, the whole celebrity chef thing
Exactly.
has made the culinary world seem glamorous.
Yeah.
That's a great way to say
Your
it.
David Chang's with your Netflix shows.
Okay,
You're
Joy
a huge
Choi.
Anthony Bourdain fan.
Right. So I went to culinary school because of Tony.
Yeah. So
Like-
I literally just bought Kitchen Confidential because it's been
Just now? Okay. I have 4 copies, 2 signed.
Yeah.
Plus all of his other books. You don't understand.
It's been once I finished the Charles Manson chaos story. I'm moving on to that because I always have to be reading something, and that has been on my list forever, along with the Momofuku book from
Right.
David Chang and Eat a Peach and like a million other great culinary books.
Just know what Tony wrote in Kitchen and Confidential is not the way the culinary world is today.
Well, because how old is that book?
It's from the 90s.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's
80s and
almost-
it's from the 90s because he got fame in the 90s from it.
yeah.
And have you seen his new movie?
I haven't yet.
Okay, so
I'm honestly like, this is gonna bum me out.
Yeah, it is. It's sad.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so it's not easy. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to go to culinary school is great. It teaches you the basics. It's like, here's the book, and this is how to make the 5 mother sauces, and this is how to your 5 different cooking methods, and it's very basic. If you want to go to culinary school and you think you want to work in a kitchen, go get a job in a kitchen somewhere. I'm not saying like a McDonald's kitchen. I'm saying like go to a kitchen that's doing stuff from scratch, and go work there for 3 months.
You're very much a get your hands dirty. Don't run to school.
I want you, but if you're like our age, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, and you're not gonna go from high school to college, right? Like that's a totally different thing in my mind. I think it still applies to that, but even more so if you're older and you want to change careers completely, and you think that getting into the culinary kitchen world is like fun and ideal, and like you want to do it and you think you can do it. I think for high school students, because I started in high school working in the kitchen on the line, but I think for them it's very relevant, but for us it's even more relevant. Go work in a kitchen for a month, 3 months. And you know what? If you can handle the stress, and if you can handle all the job responsibilities, if you can handle the hours, and it's fun and exciting and everything you thought it was going to be and more, then go to culinary school and get a degree. And learn your basics and learn all that stuff, and say that like, check, I did the time, like to focus on the craft. Or go ask, if you have the financial stability, to ask a Michelin starred chef or a well written up chef in your area.
I'm
Can
gonna
I
say,
work?
Rich, we're
Can
in
I come?
EFW.
Where we have a great
We
selection.
have a huge selection of
But
great chefs.
Ask to stage for them for free. Work under them.
Yeah.
If you have the financial stability to do that. Gary Vee always says, like, work for free. Show your talent. Prove that you can be an asset. Well, this is, like, that's the way to do it. Like, if you don't want to go to culinary school, but you did the 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, and you think that that's still something you are 1,000% passionate about, you can survive, it's fun, you want to be in that lifestyle, then go work for somebody who's really, really well known for free, or go to school. Because either one of those two roles will end up getting you a full-time job.
Yeah.
Now, the culinary school thing is basically just a checkbox that says, I completed and I spent the time focusing on the basics. And then spending 6 months to a year working underneath somebody who's extremely successful in the culinary world, that will show that you spent the time, you're dedicated, and you work for somebody, and that you can survive under them, because hopefully at the end of the day, they will either A, give you a job that pays, or B, give you a recommendation letter to a job that pays.
Yeah.
So those are your two options if you are diehard, like, this is what I want to do.
But
because,
that's on the kitchen side, where you are not.
well, I'll tell you this, 90% of the people who do in any of those things will not go into this industry.
Yeah.
Maybe even 95% of them. Because people do not want to work this hard.
Yeah.
For our industry.
In these hours and holidays
See,
and
my
weekends.
problem
and
is, like you said, you wanted a job where you can be home evenings
Right.
with your kids on the weekends, on holidays, not making omelets for, Susan at the Hilton.
Yeah.
So you went with the corporate chef role.
Right.
Which, those exact reasons is another reason why I never left my job of corporate America, having every holiday, afternoon,
Well,
weekend
it's
off.
flexibility, it's
Yeah.
family, life, work balance, whatever you want to call it.
You're not going to be that guy on Top Chef, but
Right.
you're going to have a job.
Look at how many people are on Top Chef, or that have Michelin stars, or that are on, on like a celebrity chef, compared to how many people are in the industry.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like you might as well play the lottery.
Yeah. It's like being in the NFL.
Yeah.
You're going from college to the NFL.
That's exactly what it
Right.
is.
It was like 2% make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of all this big pool of college athletes that are all freak athletes compared to the average person, how many go to the NFL?
I mean, you can still be extremely successful, but you're not going to be Jada, or you're not going to be, you know,
There's only one Wolfgang.
yeah, there's only one Wolfgang Puck. And
Yeah.
you know what? But if you look at their histories, they worked their fucking ass off
For years.
for decades.
Like, who's the...
You know how many times
Asshole
Wolfgang
British
Puck
dude.
failed
Oh, yeah.
before he finally found a partner and started his own restaurant and made a name for himself?
Ramsey.
Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay. I always want to say David Ramsey. He's a financial guy.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay, you know, he's huge, has all these shows, does all these things, has, you know, YouTube and whatever, masterclasses,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. But you go back and actually listen to him talk about a story of just being a fucking line cook forever.
Yeah.
And just being in the trenches of the bullshit forever.
And a lot of times it's right place, right time for these
Yeah.
people. Like it's
Could have been anybody. It just happened to be
right.
that guy.
Yeah.
Look at Guy Fieri. He won, you know, Food Network
Hard
Star.
not to.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, but it's, you know, he won Food Network Star, and I think he deserves it all. But look at how much work he put in before he even got to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, so this is back of house. This is the culinary side. So you were gonna say something,
Now, that's not what you do.
right?
And for me, I want to be a chef because I love cooking and dealing with food, but I also like the, like you said, food science, culinary science aspect of, if I was going to go down that road, I think I'd want to go into something more specialized,
Right.
while still being a pretentious,
Almost like being like a
spoiled-
private chef.
Right.
kind of, but be pretentious and spoiled and have my nights and weekends and do this with you guys and have a whole life because I like having a family
If you're working the line, you're not affording this.
at all. And listen, if I go that
develop
route,
a flavor for Jack Daniels.
yeah, it's a
I drank-
Jim Beam
I-
white label.
I drank-
motherfucker.
I drank so much Jack Daniels when I worked the line. Like,
But huge fucking transition.
Oh, yeah.
And giant financial adjustment to go that route into a kitchen.
Yeah.
Whereas I could probably justify keeping positions at my current company that I've been with for almost 11 years now, whilst going to culinary school.
right.
And then whilst getting a food science or culinary science degree over the next few years and going that route, and then looking to something along those lines.
So if you want to get like what I did, like the reason why I truly believe that I've gotten to where I have been, and people that I've worked with along the way have gotten to where they have been, is because at the end of the day, they have worked the line. They've worked back of house. They understand how kitchens operate. And from my perspective, because I've worked with a lot of national brands, you know, the Chipotles, the McDonald's, the Chili's, the, you know, TGI Fridays, like all that stuff. So you understand how the brands operate from back of house, which is different from a from scratch mom and pop,
Yeah.
you know, Italian spot around the corner or a burger spot down the corner, you know, which are just as, they're great as well, usually better food, but they don't have to maintain a certain consistency, right? So from my perspective, I started by working the line, working kitchens, working with chefs from around the Metroplex before I was able to get my job becoming in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And then I got the job in the corporate world, you know, from my past experience and my education. So I think that if you want to go my route, there is a huge benefit in getting the education for it. Because what I do and what I've done in the past, I help develop products that can be put on the shelf so that they're shelf stable. They're not going to get people sick. They're not going to, you know, people can trust that the product they're buying is A, going to taste good, and B, it's going to be safe for their family to eat.
Yeah.
Because are you going to go to the store and buy something you know is going to make one of your daughters sick?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, and so, like, there's a lot more science behind some of the stuff that I do and that I've done in my past. And then you look at the operation side. So what I've done is I've built relationships from the operations side with all these national brands, and so that I understand, like, when I talk to this brand, I know how your employees work because I've spent time in those restaurants and I've watched how they make the dishes, so that, you know, if I'm in this restaurant in Texas, it tastes the same if I'm in California, if I'm in Florida, New York, Ohio, you know, because there's a consistency there, and that's something that we have to also maintain for that company.
Yeah, don't you fuck up these Southwest egg rolls.
No, hell no. Like, you know, I mean, and there's a certain liability that you have, you know, that puts it on each individual location. But
Keep talking, I'm getting us more
you
classes.
get, yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, you have to do everything in your part from the corporate side to maintain that, you know, that quality, that consistency, that standard from my end, from whoever I'm working for. Ooh, little book, yeah.
Yeah. I was getting a little parched.
I
Glad you're.
was too, and I just like what he's saying, and I think this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Not about half.
But yeah, so I think, like, from my situation, you know, you have to have some sort of education in it. Now, a lot of people who become food scientists, they have either a food science degree or a agricultural degree, right? Like livestock, something to understand
The meat
that
side of it.
a meat science background, to understand that side of the industry, so that they can relate to their customers. And at the end of the day, I mean, also to add on to that, another end of the day. There's so many ends of the day here I'm adding on. Fuck. To add on to that, like, you have to remember, I am in a partial sales role.
Yeah. You're an account rep.
I mean, that's what corporate America is.
Right, so that's what
Everything is still
corporate-
sales
I would say,
related.
no matter what position you're in, whether you're a truck driver delivering to something, you're still a
You're
sales
selling.
guy for
You're
your
selling.
company. You are
Representing the
literally
brand to that customer.
every time. If you're the guy answering the phone, 1,000,000%. If you're
Right.
the guy that you have to take the call from the guy answering the phone because someone's pissed, it's a sales role
So
every time.
so that's another thing. Like, we understand that, but like, if you're not in that role where you're any sort of customer facing, you know, you have to think about that. Like, are you willing to be put in front of the customer, to be put in that situation where it's on you, and if there's a question, you're the one being questioned. I've been in sales roles with my culinary role where they're like, listen, it's Friday at 2 p.m. and we need this product by Monday at 8 a.m. And so I'm fucking on the phone as a chef,
Yeah.
trying to make sure that we make product to get delivered, you know, first thing Monday morning, half the country away. Because they don't.
That sounds like my job.
Well, because they don't. Because
Sounds exactly like my
because
job.
because who are people going to think of? The people that they relate to the most.
Yeah.
So when I'm creating a product, they're not thinking of the fucking salesperson.
Yeah.
They're going to call me because I'm the one who interacted with them. I'm the one who helped develop a product. So they're going to maintain the relationship with me.
Yeah.
And my salesperson, it's Friday afternoon, they're fucking golfing.
Yep.
Like,
You might have several of these.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to crack my bottle. So.
Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I've been in distribution forever. I've been running a branch, understanding like that side, the job side, the customer service distribution side of everything. So I know there's a way I can take the past 11 years and then add it to something I know I'm very passionate about and want to learn about. Or I could just wait for my in-laws to die and I can take over their Mexican restaurant and I'll have culinary experience with it. So
Rice nachos.
Hey, either way, you know.
either one, I have options. Little book, chapter 4.
That's
How you like this
that's-
rice whiskey?
Brown sugar and caramel on the nose.
So much caramel.
Right. The tiny Milliman green glasses do not hurt it either.
No, they don't. There are glasses that could have hurt this. This is not one of those.
Yeah. Like a red Solo cup. Probably not
Yeah,
recommended.
don't ever drink high-aged scotch out of a red Solo cup.
Yeah.
Or Eagle Rare.
We did a Glenfiddich 15 out of a pink Solo cup.
It was pink.
Have you ever watched Letterkenny?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Don't.
Yeah, it's fine. But on one of their episodes, they could do a super soft birthday party where it's a whole bunch of unicorn balloons, as you see in the background.
I see. I was wondering.
Yeah, and
Which don't spin your daughter.
a
But, you know.
bunch of solo cups and streamers. So we had to drink out of a pink solo cup at least once, and the first thing was a 15-year Glenfiddich. It was still good.
I would have put the Glencairn in the
Right.
solo cup and poured.
I didn't think about that.
Please
till
work,
right
please work,
now,
please
though.
work.
Thank you. Thoughts on the Little Book? Honest thoughts. You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
No, it's a little hotter than I do it to be. Do you know what the proof is?
64, I believe.
64.
It's weird. Like pretty much everything that comes out of Jim Beam is a little hotter than you expect it to be, except for
That's
recent
just
Bookers.
how they
but
run.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
But it's not hot in a bad way because
It's a flavorful hot. It's impactful hot.
I mean I get the like nutmeg and like it's very front of the mouth, very front of the tongue, but the burn carries to the back into your throat, but it's almost one of those ones where you're like, yeah, I like it. You know, like
Yeah.
you know,
Warm.
no, it warms you like it, but in a people are like, oh my god, like they drink bourbon or whiskey, and you see it on movies, so it's like, oh, like it warms you.
yeah.
No, this is like a hug.
Yeah.
So it's a nice blanket on a cold night.
Yeah, like the snow's coming down.
Exactly. It's nice. All right. Anything else?
Actually, I have a question. I have a couple questions.
He has a couple questions.
So you stated at one point that your job, as you were getting into the culinary field, was to one day own your own restaurant. Is that still the goal, or has it moved more to the corporate side to where you have a more corporate-esque goal?
Because, and I'll interrupt you on that. Opening up a restaurant
That's
is
yeah.
not a good endeavor. By if you're a numbers guy in any capacity,
Especially right now.
And then, have you ever listened to David Chang's podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like the first 6 episodes is him starting that restaurant in LA and just going over the stress of everything that goes into opening a restaurant.
If you read his book, and he talks about the stresses, he mentions a lot of it in the podcast, but if you read his book, he goes into depth of like, I mean, he literally would, like, his meals were just whiskey, and he lived in an apartment that literally had nothing in it. And then, I mean, and this was before, like, he talks about like how it was just the email times and the way he would email and message, but he got to the point where he was so obsessive over it, like he wouldn't sleep. His life was the restaurant. And I think people don't realize that, like, when you open a restaurant, it's your life. It's everything.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
For it to be successful, it has to
It's
be.
everything that you can embody and breathe and live, and you have to put it into your restaurant. So no, opening a restaurant
because of that,
is not the ultimate goal.
fuck
Yeah.
all that noise.
I mean, and you got to remember that was 10, 12 years ago
Yeah.
when I had that as like an ultimate vision that was there dangling in front of me.
Young kid full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Drinking Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And,
We lose hope real fast.
Yeah.
and then adulthood and reality sets in.
Yeah.
And you start to really, and then you have kids.
I
Like I have 2 kids.
Married, You
Yeah.
have someone
Get married
you're
and-
obligated to, and then you have kids, and that
You can't
changes
spend 20 hours at a restaurant.
Right.
every.
It's.
yeah.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, but the likelihood that you still have a marriage and your kids will still know who you are very slim.
Yeah.
I think it can be done. It very well can be done.
Yeah.
Not saying it can't. People out there have done it and are super successful. But I will say that I would love to still own my own restaurant. If the day came and I was financially stable enough and the concept was right, and honestly the location popped up that was right, because the
Yeah.
location is everything.
Yeah.
I would love it, but it is not my epitome goal anymore.
Yeah. It's not something you're currently working towards.
Right.
I don't know if this is one of your questions. What would your ideal concept be?
Yep. That was my next one.
So this comes from my origination of enjoying food, and I would open a breakfast place.
Interesting.
And because breakfast is my favorite meal. I could eat it
Yes.
3 meals a day plus snacks. But
What's this bacon?
it's bacon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and mid-morning snack and mid-afternoon snack and midnight snack. And
a nightcap with whiskey.
yeah. It goes great.
Bacon
God,
with
it
whiskey is
does.
amazing.
It's amazing. It would be a very hands-on counter service type establishment where I'm the person making all the meals, but I'm also the person interacting with all the customers. Very Waffle House-esque
Diner
feel.
diner type.
Greasy, good home-cooked food that's breakfast and lunch only, that at the end of the day, I would want the regular customers over and over and over again. So I
Same.
know, like,
Yeah.
that's Bob, that's Steve, that's Joe, that's Susan, that's Karen, that's whatever. Like
10 tables.
right.
Yeah.
Like it's small counter with a couple booths or something on the outside.
Yeah.
So if like families come in or whatever, and I'm the one I'm making your meal. I'm handing you the plates.
Yeah.
It's me, I know you kind of establishment.
Have
It's
you
like
ever
a
been to
one-man
Pittsburgh?
show.
No,
You never been to
never
Pittsburgh?
been.
Permane Brothers.
And I watched This Is Us, so I feel like I've been there.
I mean, I feel like that's the same thing.
Same thing.
I've watched This Is Us in a Steelers game. But I went to Pittsburgh a few years back to go to a Steelers game, and we went to Permane Brothers, their famous sandwich place, solid fries, everything on there. And one, it's packed because it's so fucking popular, and you have like 2 different rooms, but it's just your basic tables sitting on, and then everyone is sitting at a bar right in front of the grill.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I think of. Maybe not the chaos that Permane Brothers is because of all of their fame, but
Right.
I'm turning around, talking, taking your order. How's the family, Jim? While flipping your pancake.
Right. Exactly. That's it. That's the feeling. That's what I would want.
Very intimate.
I don't
smaller.
want. Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
want some
breakfast
like
hibachi.
right. I don't.
I'm cooking your food and talking to you
little
at the
soy
same
sauce
time.
in your eggs doesn't good. You know?
Everyone needs an onion volcano.
Exactly.
Everyone.
The best way
yeah.
to start the day.
Even if it is 7 a.m.
Onion volcano eggs. Let's do it.
Done.
Right.
That's what we call it. That's what we call it.
Onion volcano diner. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but so yeah, 'cause that's exactly the feel though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want some huge establishment. Like that's not me. I don't want like
Yeah.
as much as I like interacting with people.
Yeah.
I like that personal connection and building those relationships and knowing the people that are with me and the people knowing me and who's serving their food. And at the end of the day, again, that's just, I love that. I love that interaction. So that would be what I would do, but it's
Small
not.
breakfast diner. Let me get you some coffee.
But more recently, to round out the end of that question, is my newer goals are at the end of the curve of my career.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to do is to be able to consult for companies and be a go-to person for developing products and items that would go on menus on a
Well,
large scale.
Consultant in any capacity is a very fine paying job.
Yes,
And then doing it
and doing it on my terms,
on your terms in that way.
and my paycheck on top, like you said, and being able to still influence and still have a creative thought process and mindset of what I'm doing and impacting the world. That's, I think, kind of the new goal and the new ultimate. And that's, for me, I understand that's for another road. I need more experience. I need more
You just got to grow
exposure.
into that. And
Right.
Opportunity is what? Preparation?
But, when I'm 40, 50, 60 years old, then that's something that I feel I'll be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, that'd be a pretty cushy gig.
Yeah.
I would hope so. At that point.
It's like, I hope that's not stressful.
I mean, I have a very, very nice, extremely generous job now, and I'm able to be very creative, and I am thankful for that.
Yeah.
And I only hope that within my current role, I can continue to expand my connections and to build more and to influence the industry more, and help those that are our customers more. And then as I move on to my next role, whatever that is, who knows, in 10 years or 5 years or whatever. Like it. I don't want to go back to work in the line, but if I have to, I will.
Like we said, something goes south. We'll
I'll
be
do
at
whatever I
fucking
have to
Taco
do.
Bell tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't care. You had another one?
That's it.
That was it? That was
all
it
I
for
got.
me. I'll wait till we're off here to pitch my sushi Q idea.
Oh god.
Sushi. I love sushi.
No, not sushi. Sushi Q.
Sushi Q.
Barbecue.
Sushi barbecue.
That's still sushi.
Yes, but it's a fucking...
Sushi influenced.
So like your smoker out there.
So, pulled pork, brisket, how would we make it good?
sushi. Put it on rice.
Yeah.
On rice with
barbecue sauce.
But instead of it being,
Cheddar
just
cheese.
fucking avocado and cucumber, what else are we going to do?
Bacon.
Ooh.
Goddamn right, bacon.
Could you imagine like a barbecue bacon wrap sushi roll?
Just replace the
I'm
seaweed with
trying
bacon.
to.
Replace the seaweed with weaved bacon.
Well, now you just have bacon explosion.
Yeah, instead of nori, it's bacon, so we're good.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So we have a restaurant concept. We have to cut now. Because we're gonna
We have a lot of planning to do
We're gonna
tonight.
open a restaurant. So
We're gonna need more bourbon.
Everything.
so
Yeah. Fuck off!